So is there any like English test is mandatory to sit in this USMLE or?
No, there is no English test even before or after or anything. The exam is like eight blocks, 7 to 8 blocks, 40 questions, 40 to 45 questions in each block. You will have to be very specific with your time. It's up to you. It's open. It's just open. Every year, any time of the year, you can schedule your exam.
So after this, those pass part one and part two. So what is the next step they have to do? How much stipend in general they paid? If you have,
Well, it is $60,000. 60 to some programs go up to.
and what about this USMLE part three? It is mandatory to give in India. I mean, or it's just like optional.
Yes.
So hi everyone, welcome to Academically. In today's conversations, we are going to about the USMLE. So my name is Dr. Akram Ahmad, and at Academically, we are providing the courses for healthcare professionals who are looking to migrate abroad, like AMC, PLAB, USMLE for medical doctors, and others. Any healthcare professional also we provide the courses. But today's conversation is about the USMLE, and if you are looking to migrate to US, so we will see A to Z information. Today with us, Dr. Zehra, and she will give you the all this information. Okay, so welcome, Zehra.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me today.
So, Dr. Zehra, if you can just give us your brief introduction about yourself.
Yes. So I'm from India. I started my MBBS journey a few years ago. And after I completed my MBBS, I took the regular NEET PG and then I did my MD also in India. And after doing my MD and working for a few years, then I started preparing for these international exams. International licensing exams like USMLE, and there is one more Canadian board with the MCC physicians. So I started preparing for these exams while I was working in India. And then I thought I should improve my knowledge with this. So that's how my USMLE journey started. And I have passed step one, step two, and thereafter step three. So this is my story.
So, Zehra, I mean, there is so many other countries. For example, Australia, UK, Canada. Why you choose basically the US? What was the reason? If you can just give us some. Is there any advantage to go US as compared to these countries?
I should say my personal reason. I have family ties, so I have family in US. So basically, that was why I was inclined to it. But pretty much, I think PLAB and AMC for Australia and even Canadian board. These are all good places for us to train and get a residency and get a work permit there if we start early in life. So just after MBBS. So I think every place has its own advantages. For me, this was my personal reason.
Okay, but US, I can say is like a maximum people, try to go US. Even when I was a student, I was also thinking to migrate US only, not any other country. Right now, I'm in Australia. I can say it's like a ultimate destination. Many people they come to this country also at the end they want to go to US. So if you are planning to migrate to US, this can say is one of the best decision for you. So as Dr. Nidhara, if you can just give us little what are the steps need to take in order to migrate, in order to basically register themselves as a medical doctor in US.
Yes, so it's pretty much simple. It's everything is online.
Yeah.
We have an ECFMG platform where we need to register, make an account on this platform, and then upload your credentials. And they will give you a unique number, unique ID number that stays with you for like till your journey is completed. So, and then you have to register your college, and if it recognized in the World Education Services, they contact the college and get your documents from there. And once you get the permit, you are good to go. So it's an online process.
Yeah, and at Academically, we will help you to complete this process. This is not very tough. It's easier process for EPIC verification. Basically, whether you to go US, even for UK, even for Australia also, you have to go for this EPIC same verification. So this is not something, it's just a document process. So after this documentation process, is there anything, do we need to register somewhere or we can directly book this USMLE exam, part one?
We can, as medical students, when you have passed your third MBBS, like after you are in your clinical rotations, you are ready for your step one during your MBBS journey itself. And then, as soon as you pass your final MBBS, you will be ready for your step two. To apply to residency programs, you have to, have a graduate certificate of MBBS. During the time, you can prepare and you can be ready for the exams.
So it means that the eligibility means those are completed second prof. I mean the first 3 years they are eligible to
Yes,
this exam. Like in four.
yes, they are eligible. They are eligible to take the exam.
Okay, okay, that's good. Basically, you are like PLAB or AMC. You cannot because once you pass your MBBS, then
Yes,
you can
this
apply.
is the difference. This is
Yes,
the difference
but
in that.
yes.
As soon as you are registered in your college, and then they verify from your college that you are a student there, you are eligible to get a permit for step one. I can say that.
So basically, even if they are on like in their first prof,
Yes, they
even
can. But the only thing is, you won't be prepared to write the exam. The
uh,
exam is so tough that you have to finish the third year. So you have to finish your basic sciences. Only then you'll be ready to pass the exam. So that's how they kept it. You can take it anytime, but the preparation is important.
so is there any like English test is mandatory to sit in this USMLE or
No, there is no English test even before or after or anything. ECFMG exam, this USMLE exam, which is in English, is itself, I think, correlating to that. But there is one, because they have removed the step two CS exam, they have other exams for this. I think that is in English, and some steps are there in this exam.
okay, if you want to go like PLAB for UK, so there is a mandatory you have to go first step the English, but here is not required. You just go to Epic verification and then you can book your exam for USMLE part one.
Yeah, I would like to add something here. This is a bit different from the Epic. They have their own website, ECFMG website, AAMC website. This, like, even when I did my Epic verification, I had to upload my documents, and it's a little different from Epic in the sense there is, you have to register your address and everything, and you don't upload your degrees in ECFMG. You just select your college. So the college will get a verification notice, and the ECFMG directly gets your degrees there. We don't upload our degrees on the ECFMG site here for USMLE. This is one difference I found from Epic.
Yes, yes. So if we talk about this USMLE part one, if you can just give us, the exam pattern, how many questions, how much time, and where they can write this exam.
Yes, so this exam can be taken in any country. Basically, if even from India. I have taken it from India. We have prometric centers where we need to register. As soon as we get our scheduling permit from the ECFMG website, we can schedule the date. So the dates will be in set of 3 months, like January, February, March, and another 3 months. So you can select 3 months, and in 3 months you can select any date as per the prometric center. If you fail to take the exam during these dates, then you can schedule another set of 3 months, but then you have to pay extra for that. So once you schedule, the exam is like eight blocks, 7 to 8 blocks, 40 questions, 40 to 45 questions in each block. You will have to be very specific with your time, and during that you will get a break also. Sometimes people don't take the break, and then they add it to the exam time, but it's good to take breaks though. So this is pretty much the pattern. So it's an MCQ pattern.
So basically, they will only conduct this exam January, February, and March. There is no any other date.
No, no. The thing is, when you get your scheduling permit, the slots will open for you. Like, you want January, February, March, or April, May, June, or November, December, October, November, December. Like, there will be set of three months.
Okay, 3 months, everything. That's what we can say like three times
Yes.
yearly they conduct this exam.
Yeah. Yes. Three. You can take any 3 months.
So in India, do you have any idea the exam centers? Hyderabad is a center, right?
Yes, yes. Hyderabad is a center. We have Prometric Center in Hyderabad.
Mm.
It's in Madhapur, I think, Kavya Towers something. So I think the financial district has this
I
exam
think
center.
from many centers we can select Delhi, Mumbai, and Bangalore.
Yes,
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 I
yes.
mean
All the metropolitan
major.
cities have centers.
Yes.
Mostly all the cities have centers. So it's very easy to schedule. There is no problem in this.
So, what are the if you want to give some strategies to appear for this exam for part one from your
I
perspective?
would say that if somebody is preparing or somebody wants to take this, the strategy is to start as early as possible. There is a focused preparation program that you have to attach yourself to a focused study program, be it any program, but it should be an authentic, focused for, like, if it is a USMLE, then it should be a USMLE focused exam. And 3 to 6 months, 6 months is the max. So basically, you should be ready by 3 to, I should say 4 months to keep it like average. So 4 months dedicated study will definitely help.
At Academically, we are providing A to Z. We will cover in this course for 4 month coaching. So if you want to join, you can enroll at Academically for USMLE part one. So Dr. Zera, this USMLE part two, if we talk about this, is how many times they conduct, like part one is 3 times they conduct this exam, and then
It's up to you. It's open. It's just open every year. Any time of the year, you can schedule your exam.
okay, this this is part two.
Yes, part two and part one, and even part three. But part three has to be taken in US. So part one and part two, any time of the year we can schedule.
This is the advantage for you. This part one and part two you can write in India. But if you are looking to go for like UK, so part two you need to go to UK. Same for Australia, EMC part two you need to write in Australia only. Okay, this is the advantage. Part one, part two you can complete in your home country, and then you can easily you can start looking a job. So and the same exam centers for AMC part two as well as like USMLE part one.
Yes, for part two also is Prometric, the same center.
Okay. Is there any specific strategies for part two to appear in this exam?
Yes, the same thing. We have to be prepared. Focused preparation is there. So basically, part one will be basic sciences from the first year subjects, anat, physio, biochem, and then we have pathology, microbiology. We have behavioral sciences and pharmacology, microbiology. This is step one, basically. So step two will be like medicine, surgery, pediatrics, OBGYN. So this is step two. So they cover the first year basic sciences in step one and the remaining final year topics in step two. But when you prepare step one, you should be so perfect that because in step two, there will always be a part of step one. And in step three, they will be part of step one and two.
It,
So it's like, it's cumulative, it's adding. So when you start your preparation, your basics are perfect, you cannot forget that subject. So it's better to take it, one by one, almost simultaneously, one after the other, because your subject is fresh and each step is tested in the other step. So this is what I found when I took all my exams. Everything is repeated in some way or the other.
yeah. What's the approx cost involved in these two exams? You have any idea?
Yes. So yes, there is a cost. So around $1,000 just for the getting the permit, scheduling permit, and then in Prometric also we have to pay something while we get the dates and something. So it's basically we there is a cost involved for each exam.
Okay. So after this, those pass part one and part two. So what is the next step they have to do?
Yeah, if they want to, like for USMLE and going to the US, we apply for residency and we apply for the upcoming match season, which starts in September. The portal opens on 7th September to submit applications, but the programs have access on around 27th or 28th October. And as soon as the portal opens, they download all the applications which are submitted, and then they go through the applications and then they call you for interview. So when you're selected, you get into a residency, and then that residency is around 2 years, 3 years, or not 2 years, three and more, depending on the faculty. I mean, depending on a specialty that you choose. And after that, you have to sit for the American board certification exam in that specialty. And then just like the PG which we have in India, like,
Mm.
3 years we do the PG, we do the final exam, then we get the degree, right? It's the same thing.
Yeah.
So that's how.
And what about this USMLE Part 3? It is mandatory to give in India. I mean, or it's just like optional?
Yes, it is. No, it's not optional. So it's better to give it before, and it is also some programs will allow you in the first year to give it, but they have this rule that you should be giving it in the first year of your residency.
Okay. So you in your first
You will not get a license to practice without this. This is mandatory.
okay. So part 3 basically you need to give in US only. Part 1, part 2 you can write in your home country.
Yes.
So I mean, Dr. Zara, I mean your personal experience, like how much time will it take like to pass this part 1 and part 2? Then we start looking.
Yeah, so 4 months, I should say, for part one. And for part two, if you're giving immediately, another 3 months, 2 to 3 months preparation should be okay. But if you leave a gap and then you start part two again, then you'll have to prepare a little more. So depends on the speed. So 3 to 4 months for at least for each exam is
So like
mandatory.
like maybe it will take like 6 months to 8 months or around is up to you, in your own preparation.
Yes, yes. So it's up to you, but it's better that you take your time and be perfect before giving the exam because the scores matter. And now that step one is only pass or fail, there is no score for that. So it's very important that minimum 4 months and maximum you can take 8 months for preparation. You can take a lot of mocks, you can take something to know that you are going to definitely pass because you can't take a risk of an attempt for your exam. This is what I think is
Doctor,
important.
so these are the residency for 3 years or 4 years, whatever, based on their own specialty. It is paid or as a student,
Yes, they give us a stipend. They give us a stipend during these 3 years, just
yeah.
like India. Yeah. When we join a PG MD course, then we get a stipend. So this is it.
So in general, how much stipend in general they paid? You have
Well, it is $60,000. 62. Some programs go up to 65, but not more than that. And starting from 40 also 40,000 or 50,000 basically, and up to 60, 65,000. But this is before tax. And then you have to pay
like
tax on
like we
this.
can say like 40 to 60,000 in between you will get based on like college or the university they are offering.
Yes, on the university, yes. Which program you have been selected, they give you that, and we can provide all the information for different programs. How much, it's all available. Like which program is providing how much stipend, which program is providing how much vacation days, which program is providing all these things. We can see. We can already select online.
Okay. So what is the process to do PG in the US? Basically, if someone is going from India, part 1 and part 2, then they have to go for 3 years residency. And is there any exam or something, as you mentioned earlier?
Yes, the same thing. If when we do step one and step two, we can apply for residency. That is a PG.
PG.
That is a PG program. That is nothing but a PG program. And you want to become a gynecologist, so obstetric PG. So you want to become a general medicine doctor, so then you do medicine PG, like that. So it's surgery and like all these specialities. This is a PG program. Basically, residency is basically a PG program.
So this is little bit different from other countries like Australia. In Australia, if you pass AMC part 1 and part 2, then you have to go for 1 year internship. And then you have to select, again for 3 years or 4 5 years, in which you want to go, especially, for example, family medicine, internal medicine, or option gynae, this kind of thing. But in Australia, directly you are going in PG basically. It's based might be 3 years, 4 years, 5 years based on the which specialty you are going. So, Dr. Zirai, at the end, if you want to give some tips, for those who are going to migrate US.
Yes. So I would say this is a good opportunity. There are many opportunities there, but preparation and focused preparation is very important. Early on, preparation is important because year of graduation matters. When you apply to residency, scores matter, and your overall CV matters, like your extracurricular activities, your voluntary work, and your publications, your research. Yeah, all these things also matter when you want to migrate to US for residency. They just don't see giving the exam is just one step closer to achieving this, but holistically, there are many things that we should be doing simultaneously.
So in India, in generally, we are not focusing on research side, especially if you are a clinician, right? So if you are looking to migrate, whether it is US, UK, or Australia, so this is very important if you have at least some publication, okay? When you are doing your undergraduate or maybe PG, so try करें आप कुछ you can do some publication, especially in the PubMed index or Scopus or ISI index general, so it can give you, the more weightage. At academically, we are providing the free course for if you want to do research, how you can publish research and each and everything. This is a free course you can enroll at academically. And thank you so much, Dr. Zara, for your time.
Thank you. Thank you.
Please leave a comment below if you have some questions. Maybe we will cover in our next conversation with Dr. Zara. Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye.